Thank you and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today. Today we will focus on the OpenLM platform version Annapurna, and we talk specifically on the cloud. So let's see, what are we talking about today? So one comment here, we try to put some real life pictures instead of this AI generated picture, which kind of took it too far, I think. So most of these are from my trek in the Annapurna. I did 35 years ago. I hope you like it, even though old ones. And the target today is mostly to our customers that wants to get a deeper understanding on our cloud deployment of the OpenLM Annapurna. What does it means to you? And we will talk about what does it take to deploy. We'll talk about how it works very lightly, our internal implementation, and I will talk about some components, API, integrations, as time permits. So last time we had a whole webinar about why and so on. So just as a reminder, this is the slide, all the different reasons why we got into this project and why we did it. And this is also the vision that was presented already in the first presentation in the series about what's the vision for the OpenLM platform. Right now, it's the Annapurna version. So let's start with the terminology. So when we talk about OpenLM, the platform that we created, we will say OpenLM platform. Annapurna is a release name, and we will always use it as a release name. Next year, we'll probably have another mountain. And when we refer to the existing version, we'll talk about V25. High-level architecture. So also this one, we reviewed it in the last meeting. So I don't want to go into it again. I will better do it component by component. But the important thing to mention is that when we see this slide, you don't need to do anything. So basically, except of installing some agents, which you don't have to do everything, we do everything for you. So 90% of what you see here is our infrastructure and our implementation. And I want to start the review with something we never had before, but this is a minimal deployment, which means zero installation, and we now have this capability. So basically, you go to the cloud, you go to the cloud broker, and you just go and configure the list of services you have. Some example were given here. We connect to your cloud license manager, we get the data for you, and we provide you everything, management, monitoring, allocation management, services, optimization, whatever, what we can provide. And this is the first time we have something that doesn't require any installation. Now, if we go a step further, okay, so most of our customers still have a very significant engineering environment with license managers scattered all over the world. And here comes our broker with many hundreds of thousands of deployment worldwide on licensed servers. And all you need to do is to deploy the OpenLM broker on your license manager, and it will send the information to the cloud. Nice thing to mention that the team did it in a way that you can use the same broker already deployed to send the data to OpenLM platform on the cloud and also to your maybe on-prem deployment at V25 that you currently have now. And this principle is this: you add more components, you get more capabilities. Yes, it comes with a tool. You need to deploy it, you need to install it, but anyway, you get a very significant capability as a payback. Let's mention the workstation agent, the browser agent, which is an alternative to the workstation agent, and DSA is the agent that reads the information from your directory and sending it to the DSS, directory synchronization component, and allows you to enjoy from many, many benefits. So I'm going to run through it. I'm sorry for the speed. There are lots of information. So now let's talk about what we call component. It's everything that surrounds the platform and is sending, getting information, doing many things for you. And let's start with the workstation agent. This is the classic, very powerful agent. It can do everything. So it can support you for activity on the browser. It can support you for activity on the desktop and whatever else the engineer is using. But the main thing to start with, it's a service for the engineer. It is designed to help your engineer to get the license they need when he needs it, because this is your most expensive resource. And we are here in order to make sure that you are getting this benefit. He gets the license when he needs it. Also here, we invested a lot of effort, and the same agent can report actually to the two platforms, V25 and OpenLM platform. And it's also the same agent that can work with your cloud deployment and on-prem deployment, which is outstanding. Second is the browser agent. So you deploy it on a specific browser. And in that case, you definitely get a nice capability. You get better capability with the workstation agent. But it will monitor everything that happens on this browser. And if you have a standard browser that all the people within the organization needs to use, it's definitely a good solution. Provides you a good ability to monitor. And if you prefer that over the workstation agent, definitely it's an option. DSS agent. So again, DSS, directory synchronization, and the DSS is something that you usually deploy close to your directory. It doesn't need to be on the same machine, on the domain controller, just somewhere on the network. It's bringing very critical context into what you see in OpenLM, because it brings the person detail, the department, the location, the machine, so many details that are critical for us. We support so many directories already now, and we are constantly adding more. Ask us, we'll do it. Come with your requirement. Now, I would like to take just a few minutes to talk about the data collection layer of OpenLM and give some example. It's not going to give you a full picture of how it works, but it definitely you get something out of it. So what we need to understand is that the approach of connected to the FlexLM output, reading it and creating the data based on it doesn't work. We know that for many years. It's not enough. And the only thing that really works is to get multiple data sources and use all these data sources all together in order to create an accurate and unifying data that you can use in order to manage your licenses. Okay, so there is a jump here. So let's talk about identity and single sign-on integration, which was supported in v25, but it's also supported here. We have the identity integration with OpenLM. It works the same. It's based on a leading embedded identity platform that we embedded into OpenLM Annapurna. It enables the single sign-on when you log into OpenLM. It delegates the identity verification to your own platform, whatever you use, Okta or something else. You can delegate it, and definitely it improves the security because you don't need to remember the username on another platform, which is OpenLM. You click, and you're using the same sign-on that you already did it. Now, there is a new thing that comes with the OpenLM platform now. We're using the identity services in order to get utilization data. So how does it work? It's a very similar slide, but this time to a different purpose. So if you used the single sign-on capability in order to log into another service, then the single sign-on provider, the identity provider that you're using knows that, and we can utilize in order to get additional source of utilization data. And this is what we're doing now. And we support many platforms, as you can see, and more will come if you ask us. So tell us, what are you using? It will allow us, especially, it works well for SaaS application. So if you have something that runs on the browser and many people are using, if you have a platform like that runs on the desktop, but pulls the license from a SaaS platform, then we can do it. We can get the data and enhance the data that you are getting. So now let's go to the OpenLM broker. Again, broker is a critical part, especially if you have local license manager. In that case, you need it, and it's kind of a universal translator for more than 60 license manager, to mention FlexLM, DSLS, and so many others. And it is sending, this was always like that in v25 and before in all the version. So what actually changed here, it's the way we process it. And with Annapurna, we added a component that wasn't there. It's called the broker hub. And just for comparison, in v25, all the data was sent to the monolith. So many brokers were always hitting the monolith with information which he needs to take. And now we have the broker hub. So how is it different? It's kind of, first, it's kind of a command center for all the brokers that you have. So you go in, and there are screenshots here that you can see. You can manage everything. You can see what is running, what is the status. You can also remotely update. It will come soon also to the OpenLM platform. And you can update them, you can maintain them all remotely, but it's also acting as a buffer. So in case there are so much information getting there, somehow we are delaying the process, then the broker hub is reading the information, making sure it's acceptable in terms of security. This broker is sending information through it, which customer it is related to, and we keep it in Kafka. And then further processing is happening when possible. The platform is designed to process the data almost in real time. Need to mention that. Add to that, it's a new component now. And again, it was like that in V25. All the agents were reporting directly to the monolith. So monolith was very loaded, opening many different ports and needing to process this data almost in real time. And now we have the agent hub. So similarly, the agent hub is a central point for all data coming from all your end user devices. Maybe workstation agent, browser agent. It is designed to handle the data. For potentially, it can be endless. So I don't want to say endless, but you can process definitely tens of thousands of agents simultaneously. Our cloud platform is designed even for more than that. And you can think about these two services very similarly. They get the data, they do security checks, they buffer the data, and they let other services do the further processing for them. So these two are definitely new processes added to the system. So there is a short summary here. The idea of the hubs is that we want to have a very high scalability. We send the data where we can put many services all together to get the information to do their work, and we buffer it for the next stage of processing. Now let's talk about a bit about the processing and storage. This is also, I'm saying, everything that I describe it is kind of the internal implementation. You as customers, let's say you don't have to worry about that. For me, it's important to tell you what did we do and how did we do that. But definitely this is something that we are handling. So how does it work? So basically we got a packet of data. It can come from many different places. And what we are typically doing is start by enriching it, because what we get is very dull. No, not all the information we need for the processing is there. Just to give you one example, let's say I'm getting some information about the feature that is used. It's not enough. I need to know the exact feature. So I need to identify the feature within the catalog. I need to know the ID, and then I can further process it. And this is complex, and this is the enrichment process. Then we do the fusion processing, because we are getting, as I said, we never process by one single source of data if we can. We get multiple sources of data, we fuse the data, we process it, and now let's say we have a record of usage data. It's not always, but let's simplify the process. Now we have a usage data. It goes to another topic within Kafka. And now we have two stages. One is we stored it in the operational database, and then another service is preparing it and storing it in the reporting database. And this is a different process because we changed the structure here. We have a structure that is designed for BI, and this requires the processing. And let's see the databases that you are going to have within your OpenLM platform system. So the first database to the left is the operational database. This is a document database, different from what we used in V25, which is relational. On the cloud, it is a shared resource. So we have one database per service, and all the data that flows in is processed there. But it's a small database, and it only keeps what we really need for the processing. Once we don't need the information, we just remove it. And this is the operational database. It belongs to the service. It's part of the implementation, and nobody else should connect to it or touch it. It's a very, the structure is designed for OLAP, for processing transaction, and this is how it is designed. So what is this, the staging database? Staging database is something we created for, in order to make sure that we, in case something goes wrong in the reporting stage, we still have the original data in the original shape. And yes, I said that the operational database is kind of keeping only the ongoing processing data. So here we have a stable view in the original format. And this is the important thing. In the reporting database, we have a data in a structure designed for consumption by BI services. And this is mostly important because you can connect any of your tools, anything that you're using as a standard within your organization, and immediately be able to generate your own reports. Definitely, we also provide you a package of reports on leading platforms that we are using. This database, one last note is here, is this database, the reporting database, is not always a real database engine. So if you do a on-prem installation, it will be a relational database. On our cloud deployment, it's actually a format called data lake, and it's stored on Amazon S3. This is the implementation on OpenLM Cloud. So when you use the OpenLM interface, and the team here added 2 screens, so this is the operational interface on top. And this interface is first, it's advanced, it's amazing, it looks great, but it's also something that we developed. So it's a component developed by our team, Angular. Angular is something that Google created, Material. It's the visibility. And we are using the HTML and JavaScript languages to develop it. On the bottom, this is the reporting interface. This screenshot is coming from a system called QuickSight. We're using it on AWS. So when you register to the cloud, when you use the reporting, you will actually be using QuickSight that is looking into your personal private database. And this is important. The reporting database is yours and only yours. Nobody else can access it. It's a single database for you. Now, let's talk about the databases. So how do we make sure that everything is okay and it's reliable? You know that someone needs to do it. So we are leveraging our cloud provider, best-in-class managed database services. So for relational database, for example, Amazon RDS. For document database, we use Mongo Atlas, and so on. These services are configured for high availability. They automatically replicate the data across multiple physical locations. And if there is an issue in one location, the database automatically fails over to a healthy replica within a minimal downtime. We were getting the service. Also, we are paying for that. We are not doing that. We are getting automatic schedule backups, so we can roll back to a healthy point in case something goes wrong. And it's the key takeaway here is that we are using a powerful native platform, high availability and disaster recovery feature we are getting from the cloud provider to ensure that your data is safe and highly available. So this is the idea. Now, we spoke a lot about Kubernetes and what it stands for and so on. So now we talk about the implementation because the theory was last webinar. So we fully manage it. You need to do nothing. This allows us to scale our offering. So the amount of pods waiting to get a request according to the demand, and we will assure the performance of the system. Basically, we're using the managed platform of AWS. And by the way, if you consider a private cloud deployment, definitely you can do the same, and we have the deployment scripts for you. Microservices, so we also spoke about that. The system is actually a cloud of many microservices working together and talking based on Kafka and storing the information into databases. So let's talk about our microservices. So we have about 150 and it's constantly growing. So it's a very complex environment to manage. But it provides virtually endless scalability. It performs. And the most important thing that it allows us to implement agile development methodology and to be able to deliver whatever you need very fast compared to the past. Another concept that we spoke about last webinar is the API gateway. It's very critical. So instead of having multiple ports, we are now using one port where everything is tunneled into. You can understand that this creates a much secured service and give us a much better ability to make sure that the people that will be able to get in and get the service are actually our customer. This goes hand in hand with the identity server that is fully embedded into OpenLM Platform. And by the way, this is exactly the same identity platform that you are currently using in version 25. Audit, finally we have it. It's long awaited and we never had it in the way we want, and now it's just perfect. Again, it's provided to you by the OpenLM platform. This is something that is mandatory for compliance. Audit services is critical for security and compliance. It creates a chronological, unchangeable record of all important actions taken within the platform. Whatever is important to track, like user login, administrative changes, modification of configuration, whatever is important, we are keeping it. This provides a complete audit trails that is essential for security investigation, and for meeting compliance requirements like SOX, GDPR, and many, many others. So we have it, it's there, it has a very nice interface on the platform. Okay, we got to this stage of the integration. I see it goes well, so we have enough time. If you have question, we will be able to answer. So this is a main point and a main goal that we set for ourselves when creating the OpenLM platform. We don't want to be a silo within your IT environment. OpenLM platform is designed to be an open, connected hub that shares its valuable insight with other critical systems in your enterprise ecosystem. And we spend a lot on that, and we're still doing that. So the concept is that we can share data with any platform. We can pull data from any platform. We can also utilize the capabilities of other platforms, and the other platform can utilize OpenLM capability. Now, we have two rectangles here, OpenLM Platform and ServiceNow, but it wasn't completed fully. So we wanted to show that they talk together, but ServiceNow is just an example because we are working with many other platforms as well, even though ServiceNow is still our main partner, and we collaborate on many projects together, coming together as a solution. So let's talk about the connectivity, and let's talk with the GraphQL API. So this was also discussed last webinar. We explained the concept, and this is actually now the industry standard. So if you want to provide API, you provide it using GraphQL. It's bringing you only the data you need, reducing the communication, having many, many benefits. It covers the whole OpenLM interface. So basically, we are using the same API for whatever you see. So all the interfaces you see, everything we did uses the same. You have it. You can do even better than us. And you can customize, you can integrate our capability. It's very powerful and capable interface, which you can use. The second is direct data access. And maybe if you needed it in the past and you wanted to connect to our own database on the cloud, you have seen the complexity. We had to keep a dedicated machine. We had to, for you, we had to configure it. It was very complex. And now we were able to provide a much better connectivity. So basically you can, for example, have your BI tool, either an organizational BI tool running on your browser, and you want to connect it to OpenLM BI that is on the cloud. You want to look on multiple databases together, and you want to get insights. This is now possible because the implementation of S3 is allowing us to open it to you much more easily. You can connect the tool of your choice, whatever you use, Microsoft, Power BI, something else, anything. You connect and it's there. You see the data structure and you can start working. As a comment for on-premise, we have another solution. We have a relational database which you hold within the organization, the same data structure, so you can actually connect your tool and work with it as is. And the Okay, so now let's switch to something else and talk about the integrations we did. And for this discussion, we will discuss the ServiceNow integrations that we already have. I need to mention that as we are working a lot with ServiceNow customers and also directly with ServiceNow team, we there is a lot that is coming and is on development now. And if you want to have something, if you need a capability, come talk with us. Now, first ServiceNow component we are integrated with is ServiceNow sample for ServiceNow. This is something we did already, I think, 7 years ago, and it's working for many customers. And it's a key benefit because Sampo is great at discovering standard IT assets, but it has its own blind spot when it comes to complex network licensing and engineering licenses, specialty licenses, as we do. And here we are filling the gap. And we provide the complementary data to ServiceNow. And by that, we allow people, organizations that use Sampo to have everything in one place and to manage it, and not to have another engineering silo within the organization that is completely managed in a different way. The second integration we did is the integration with ITSM. So as you know, ServiceNow, they have outstanding ITSM platform that can do a lot of things. And with the recent releases, it can also automate many of the things that were done manually in the past. So what we did, we integrated the OpenLM output, kind of warnings, mistakes, whatever is happening, into the ITSM platform. So in that way, you can handle it in one place. So you don't need to go to OpenLM to handle the problem. You have one place, one platform, ServiceNow. You handle everything, including what might happen on OpenLM, something that you need to do. You can also integrate the capabilities of OpenLM and integrate it with your ITSM services. The third integration is, it's also related to ITSM, and this is a very nice implementation that we did. It's related to the reviewing and the acceptance process of a new license file for engineering services. So think about that. There are so many people that could be involved in that. Procurement, checking that the new license file is actually covering everything that we paid for. And then someone that knows how to go to this license server. First, you need to identify the right license file to compare with. Then you need to request for approval and go through all the approval process, and then you need to deploy it and make sure that everything is okay. So that's what we did. We automated this process, and we are working with the customer on the ServiceNow platform to finalize it. And this is something you could also benefit from. But this is only an example. The capabilities are endless, and the integration between the two platforms brings a huge synergy working together. These are, so I'm saying, ServiceNow is always in our focus, but we are integrated into many other different platforms. It usually goes with our customers. So we have a customer using Zoho. Okay, let's integrate it. And we have many of the integrations that are already there in in ServiceNow, either ready and already published in other platforms similar to ServiceNow, and some of them are in different stages of implementation, which actually takes a lot of time. So we are doing, and then the approval process is very lengthy. This is typically what is delaying the deployment. We integrate with many BI tools, and we try to support as many as possible. It takes a lot of effort. So I'm saying we won't be able to do everything. For example, Tableau is a very popular platform, and we probably won't be able to give you all the reports that are now ready-made and done for platforms that we are using in-house. So I'm saying we have limitation, but we are doing our best to cover as much as possible. Let's give a word about security, because we are talking about cloud, and in many cases, this is where customers are eventually saying, no, we will do on-prem. So security was in the core design from day one when we created OpenLM platform. It's a critical aspect of our cloud security. One critical aspect is the isolated database or tenancy that we created. So you have your own, it's not mixed with other customers' data. During the processing, we're doing everything together, but immediately it goes into your operating database, and this is yours and only yours. No other, nobody else can access it. And definitely we take many other measures into security that are written on the slide, and I don't want to just read it. I want you to look into it. But let's continue. So it's exactly the time plan. Let's recap what we spoke about. So I think that my main message today is that we invested a lot in creating a platform that is a real alternative to many of our customers that are currently deploying on-prem. I do understand that in some organization it's mandatory and there is no security organization and so on, and there is no discussion. And more than that, we are happy to help you with your on-prem deployment. But I want to put on the table that I think that based on the efforts that were done here, we have a platform that can definitely replace your on-prem deployment. You can save a lot of efforts, which you can invest in other places that they're needed, and just enjoy from the benefits of the problem instead of also dealing with upgrade and maintenance and so on. So this is my message for today. I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to listen.